Uber has proposed a new employment framework for its European drivers that would allow them some worker rights while not being officially classified as employees. Uber argues that if governments were to start treating drivers as employees, it would have to increase costs that would be passed on to customers. Instead, it envisions a status that offers benefits to drivers while still allowing them flexibility of contract work. Well, let's find out more. Joining us now is Vicky Price, Chief Economic Advisor and Board Member at the Centre for Economics and Business Research in the UK. Thank you very much for your time. So, do we need a new approach to people and the rights of people working in the gig economy?
I think we do, but the problem with Europe, of course, is that each country has been doing its own thing. And what the EU is now trying to do is look at the European Commission in particular, trying to look at ways in which at least the rules can be harmonized, because obviously it's quite hard if you find, one country looking at their workers and thinking there should be proper employees and another allowing for them to be subcontractors and be completely self-employed. It does affect their varying rights from country to country, and it has been proven to be quite difficult. Nevertheless, I think there has been a move to look at this vast army of gig workers. The numbers are increasing. As we're going to be coming out of the pandemic, we're going to have many more people working more flexibly or wanting to work more flexibly or having no choice but to work more flexibly. And any move to ensure that at least they have the basic rights, such as sick pay, some holiday, but also ensuring that they earn at least the minimum wage is going to be a very, very important part of the whole package.
Uber have been under scrutiny, as well as other employees of people who work in the gig economy before. Why is it that they don't call their staff their employees?
First of all, the costs are going to go up very significantly for them. And the real issue is, are you an employee if you're working for that firm from the moment, say, you log on to the app that allows you then to connect with whoever it is who may want to hail your cab, or then you move and go and pick them up? Or do you actually become an employee from the moment you pick this person up? So the costs can increase very, very significantly. And the flexibility, of course, will also be affected quite significantly too. And there are some cases where you've done surveys which suggest that people like being self-employed, they like this flexibility, they like doing things that the moment that they want to be logging on and doing the work. So it goes two ways. But I think the costs can increase very substantially for Uber. Even here in the UK, where we looked at what we should be doing on the gig economy front, there has been a big review called the Taylor Review by Matthew Taylor, who used to be in the number 10 policy unit here in the UK for the government. It was that perhaps those workers should be classified as something slightly different to employees and slightly different to proper subcontractors, so that they can have some rights, but also that they can have the freedom and flexibility they need.
So if Uber is successful and they have this sort of halfway house between the both, what would you say are those fundamental rights that the workers should have that doesn't come as too great a cost to the company?
Well, the first one is, of course, you have to have some minimum wage. You need to make absolutely certain that they earn at least what the minimum wage is in different countries. And of course, that varies as well from country to country. Number two is that they should be able to have some sick benefits, which I think are important, and they're beginning to win that. And there's been a judgment here in the UK that gave them the rights of being practically employees, but that's been contested. It's been contested a number of times. And also the question is the flexibility to work for somebody else. I think that's very crucial. So if you're self-employed, what you do is you can actually work generally for other people. If you're exclusively working for a company like Uber and don't actually take anyone else as your client, if you like, then you're more or less an employee, and that gives you also extra rights in terms of the time you may not be required to work, how do you compensate for that, and also everything else that anyone who is an employee actually enjoys up to a point. So this third category is, I think, what Uber is going for, and I think that is probably where we're going to be ending up as well.